Three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to another free on-page SEO course. My name is Josh Bashinsky. Today, we're going to be going over how to do on-page for free. It's going to be the very front end of the process, even what some people consider kind of pre-on-page, but I consider it part of on-page. Walter says, monopoly in USA, Google SEO, and ads in the future. Yes, I won't be touching much on that, but I agree. Google definitely has had a monopoly, and they still have a search monopoly. People say that Google is going to die and not be the search engine. I disagree. It is way, way too early to get that kind of determination right now. Google is still by far, the search majority. They still have the vast, vast majority on all their search engines put together combined. And the second biggest search engine still is YouTube. So it's still Google, it's running the show, and that's the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future, at least for 5 to 10 years. We're like in 1993, where the Firefox browser just came out, and Internet Explorer hasn't even come out yet. You know, like we're so early in the game, and I saw this as a teenager in the 90s of how the web developed right before my eyes. It was amazing for anyone who was living at that time. And we're in a similar time now, but don't worry. Google is going to be the top search engine. They still are, and they're going to be for the foreseeable future. There's still tons of money to make on Google, and that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to show you today. So if everyone's excited and ready to go, let me just check to make sure that I'm actually broadcasting here to YouTube. I am. If you're watching live on YouTube, please, by all means, give me a like, give me a subscribe if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Ask any questions in the YouTube chat as well. And as always, there are freebies and gifts for the end. Also, keep in mind to Olu, my good friend Olu over in Ontario is running a great entrepreneur conference. She's going to have tons of free gifts and stuff like that. Make sure you check that out from my email that I sent out this morning. But also for you guys today, I have free gifts as well. So make sure to stay for the whole thing. Keep watching. And at the end, I will release it first to the people in the Zoom. So make sure you stick around for that. Remind me at the end if I forget. Say, hey, Josh, there's supposed to be a free gift. Or to quote South Park, I was led to believe there would be punch and pie, quote unquote, from the 1990s movie. That's how old I am. I will definitely provide it, and I'll provide it after for people on YouTube. And there's a few spots. There should be enough for everybody. If there's not, email me. I'd be happy to help you. Okay. So what are we covering today? Today we are talking about SEO Copilot. Here's what it looks like when you have the free trial, but I have secret access, obviously, because I'm the CEO. What it does, it allows you to automate SEO. You're saving 99% on time and money, and you're ranking higher. Is it possible you could both save money and time on OnPage and also do it better in one fell swoop? The answer is yes. How do you do that? With AI. AI is how you do it. There's 3 simple steps. 1, you need to find the ranking opportunities. Our AI scans, as it says here, thousands of keywords to find where your competitors are weak. You would not be, you would be amazed. You would be amazed at how many holes there are in the game, or how many holes there are, chinks in the armor there are of certain query spaces. You think that deck and patio construction in Granite Valley, California is all cinched up. Right? All the money in roofing in Lincoln, California is all cinched up. Wrong. There's tons of keywords in there that you can rank for very easily, that you can provide a high quality human level content quality page that Google will love because they don't currently have a good answer. And so you need to find the ranking opportunities before you get started where your competitors are weak, but the traffic is high, there's lots of traffic, and there's money behind that keyword. Again, also, gone are the days of just trying to rank for a keyword, some 8-word long tail informational top of the search funnel keyword, because it's easy to rank for, and you can show your client or boss, hey, look, or just show yourself, hey, look, I ranked for this. Great. No one was searching for it, and there's no money behind it. So good. You got a little bit of good, but we want to dominate. We want to win. We want to make more money faster, sooner, better, easier, sexier than everybody else. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. After that, you would run a keyword spy report, and my AI does all the work there for you. My AI scans tens of thousands of keywords in some cases to find you the absolute best ranking opportunities that have the highest final return on investment, the final ROI. That's the only thing that matters, final ROI. If you forget everything else from this free course that I'm going to show you on how to completely change your life and make money at SEO, and also possibly work at home doing it if you want, remember, if you forget anything else I said, remember final ROI, and remember you were led to believe there'd be punch and pie. Those two things. You were led to believe there'd be punch and pie. 1, 2, final ROI. Remember the phrase final ROI, because if you're not getting the maximal return on investment for your SEO, every SEO move you make is not the most streamlined and efficient, and dare I say optimal. That's why that's the O in SEO, optimal. It needs to be optimal. You're getting the highest final ROI. If you're not getting that, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose, and I don't want to see you lose. I want to see you win. You can win. You can win fairly easily. I put that with qualifications and scare quotes. You know, it is a job. You have to work 8 hours a day doing the whole thing. But Onpage shouldn't take your 8-hour day. Onpage should take 1 or 2 hours a day, leaving the rest of the day for the rest of the SEO work you need to do. You then launch the AI to run keyword competitive research. We rebuild you all the on-page models that are important: RankBrain, TW-BERT, vector embeddings, BERT, neural matching, helpful AI, review AI, spam AI, all of these AIs that actually exist and are real AIs that Google uses. We've reverse engineered and remodeled them for you. And spying on competitors, we fill in the data, looking at tens of thousands of lines of code that you could never possibly humanly look at, to then use our article builder. You could just take those keywords and then do manual SEO if you want, but why would you waste the time doing it manually? Why would you prick your finger with a pen and try to write in blood? Why would you prick your finger with a pen and try to write in blood when the pen has been invented? And why would you use a pen when the computer's been invented? And why would you use a computer when AI has been invented? This is the evolution. We are now at the point, humans don't write things anymore. Humans don't write things anymore. That's done. That's over. I know the rest of the world hasn't realized that yet, but we smart people who know AI and know how it works and know it's still very early stages. You've got to be careful with it, but our tool has been whipped together to do a very, very good job. That you use AI to write all this stuff. Humans don't write this stuff anymore, and you don't need to. The rumor out there that SEOs are talking about is just a knee-jerk reaction of them sticking their head in the sand, being like, I don't know why. They have to explain to their clients why they lost all their rankings, and they're like, it must be AI content. The AI content you put on one single page, it hit the whole site. Like, that's just a scared knee-jerk reaction. It's in no way true. It is in no way true. And so here's the good news. The rest of the SEO industry thinks that's true. Great. We have a huge opportunity to get a one-up on them. I have the stats to prove that our AI, I mean, if you just generate AI content out of ChatGPT, yeah, that's probably not going to rank. That'll probably nail you. I wouldn't do that. But if you use our very complex chain of thought ideation, human level writing team AIs that we've created that work together to make high quality human level content, it's also factual, it's human level, it's high quality, it's helpful, it's a good review, it's a good service. It will reduce your costs by up to 99% and your time, given what the white hats used to pay for content. They used to pay $100 per hour for a US writer to research for 10 hours and write for a few more. It would be like $1,500 per page. Well, I can break that down to $1.44 a page. You could save that much money and that much time. I can bring it down to about 20 minutes to get the same level of white hat quality content that we were getting a couple of years ago. So who's pumped? Who's excited? I always get invigorated when I remember why I made this thing and how awesome it is. Who's pumped to learn this stuff? Give me a pumped in the chat. Give me a pumped in the YouTube if you can. And otherwise, let me get started and show you. Now, is there any particular area you want me to focus on? Sometimes people are more confused about article builders. Sometimes they don't understand why this is so important. I'll just start from the beginning and move on. But if there's a particular area you want me to focus on, please let me know. Otherwise, give me a pumped in the chat or a thumbs up or a good to go if you can, and we'll get started. Okay, so the first bit, keyword discovery. This is where you need to start off. Now, I've been doing SEO for 25 years, and this used to be standard operating procedure, right? It used to be standard operating procedure to always do niche research. Even before you get into a niche, Joseph gives me a thumbs up. Thanks, Joseph. I really appreciate it. Thanks for interacting. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It helps me teach better. I'm used to teaching in person in a classroom. I've taught at universities for years. Teaching on Zoom, I find like I feel isolated because I can't see your faces. I can't see how well, if you're excited or you're absorbing the content. So I really appreciate it. Thanks. For years, this had been standard operating procedure on two levels. One on the business level, which ultimately, remember this, an SEO consultant is ultimately a business consultant. It is my job to make you more money when I'm an SEO consultant. An in-house SEO, the job is to make the company more money. And when you're doing SEO for yourself, your job is to make you more money faster, sooner. Spend less, less risk, more money sooner. That is the name of the game. That is the formula for the final return on investment, which is the single most important thing I'm going to talk to you about today. And the other thing to remember, of course, is you were led to believe there'd be punch and pie. There will be punch and pie at the end. Not really. I'm not actually going to mail you punch and pie. There'd be too many nut allergies and gluten allergies. I'd poison one of you. That'd be terrible. But there will be a gift. There will be a gift at the end. But all joking aside, I don't know where it fell off the radar for SEOs, but they don't seem to teach this anymore. They don't seem to talk about it. And I saw my competitors recently remembering, oh yeah, they're adding it to their tools. But I've had this for years. I have a video on YouTube. I've been showing how to do this free for years. And now my AI does 1,000 times better job than you could ever do manually, right? You could ever do manually. It looks at thousands of keywords, ideas, and finds the money behind it. And it will give you an idea of the difficulty for these different areas. Now, and again, as I said, you got to get this on two different levels. The first level is when you're doing kind of a business research, like, should I be in this business at all? Should I be doing kitchen remodeling for El Dorado Hills, or should I be doing bathroom renovation for El Dorado Hills? Joseph asked, what does KRB stand for? KRB stands for Keyword Revenue Ballpark. It is the rough ballpark estimate of the kind of money that is behind this niche. He says, thank you, you're welcome. It's a rough estimate of the kind of money that's behind this niche. And this average here is the average of all the keywords that I've run in the tool. The highest one is the highest one. It could be, now the revenue ballpark can be way off. The revenue ballpark can be off. The difficulty usually is not that far off. The difficulty often is not far off, but the which I haven't run for any of these, but the keyword revenue ballpark can be quite off. The formula is the CPC at a standard public ratio that Google has sent out, which is a 1-to-2 ratio, and 30% of this traffic, and then 5% of that converting at a ratio that Google says, on average, people make a 1-to-2 ratio. If they pay $15 in a CPC, they make $30 off that on average. Google has published that publicly. So we use that average to come up with this number. It could be way off, right? But I mean, it is a really good idea if you want to rank for it, right? Ranking for plumbing, if you ranked number 1 for plumbing, I guarantee you're going to make a fuckload of money. Maybe not $500,000, but probably 57,000 at the very least. And so this is the kind of keyword discovery research you need to do. One, it is to decide, do I want to do bathroom renovation in an area versus kitchen renovation? Like, what query spaces are even worth going after to begin with? And once you decide on a general query space that you might want to go for, and you've advised your customer, you've advised your client, or you've advised yourself or your boss, then you can drill down in these areas and find out which keywords you should be going for because they have the highest final return on investment. Now, the return on investment is not done here because I haven't run any of these difficulties. And apparently I have no credits or something along these lines. Okay. We'll see. We'll run them. 1 second. Let me just make a note here while that's running. Go ahead, grab yourself a beer or coffee. This will just take me 1 second here. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Good. Go back here. Okay. So, and then once that's done, you can use the difficulty and the ROI, if there is any ROI on some of these numbers, to get a sense of what is going to make money in this niche. And here's the final ROI. Uh, 1 second. Let me just say something else here. Okay, so here's what I mean about final return on investment. It takes the easiness of the keyword times the money. So the higher the money, the better final ROI it has. The easier the keyword, the final ROI it has. And so this is telling me which keywords in general I should be going for here. This is telling me which keywords I should be going for. I do not want to try to rank for these keywords that are very tough and make less money. Why? Because I'll spend more money to get there. It'll have more risk involved, that I'll lose the rankings, and it makes less money. And you might be like, Josh, how is that possible? How is it possible that there's keywords that make less money that are very hard to rank for? Because the niches change. The niches change over time. You would not believe sometimes when I look at these, what keywords are available, right? And what keywords are possible to make good money on, quite frankly. Let me, oh, sorry, there was somebody waiting there. Let me let you back in. Let me go here to Eldora. Let's go to Roseville. I've been doing a lot of local ones lately that don't necessarily have good money or not necessarily the best example. Let me... Baby clothes for girls. These are some good ones. Baby clothes for boys and girls. Here's some good ones here. Joseph says, how did you drill down to specific cities? I can only find US state. They're there. They're there. So let me run these difficulties. They're here. So what's a keyword you might want to run, Joseph? What is a particular keyword you might want to run? I can run it right now here for you. Roofing, sure. What city? Roofing, Traverse City, Michigan. Sure. So Traverse City, Michigan. There you go. Boom. Okay. Let me just grab this here as well. Okay, so that ran, boom, we got 5,400 ideas. It's checking difficulties now. So it's pretty easy. That's how you get the the city in there. You could select it here. This is just a little bug. This shouldn't have plugged this in here. This is a misunderstanding from my programmer that I just asked him to make a change. Okay, so baby clothes for boys and girls. Here's a good example. So baby clothing is tough, and you'd be like, how tough is it? You move your mouse over it, it gives you a 40%, 31%. And what does that percentage mean? That percentage means it's 40% harder than every other keyword that's been put into the system. How many keywords do we have in here? We have millions. We have well over 1 million now, probably close to 2 million keywords in the system, and we have a couple thousand. We have a couple thousand users putting them in the system. So when it says 40%, this is the system is a very, very statistically significant. There's a standard mathematical formula in science they use for statistical validity. I learned it when I was doing my MA and my PhD. I cranked out the formula, and we are scientifically valid. We are well beyond the threshold for scientific validity. When Josh's tool says this niche is 40% harder than the rest of all of SEO or any other kind of SEO, in general, on average, from every query, from the easiest to the toughest, you could take that to the bank, right? This is going to be like off by at 1%, maybe. You could take that to the bank. And if you're like, why? Why is this only 40% tougher? Well, click on it and you'll see. Because people have not put the EMQ fully in the title. They haven't put it fully in the page. They haven't put the keyword here. They don't have a good page rank. The page or sites are not focused on this. They don't have a lot of backlinks. They don't have traffic. They're not a major brand, et cetera, et cetera. There's all kinds of reasons that, and this is not really secrets. This is not really SEO secrets. This is not all of SEO, but this is a lot of SEO and a good way of determining whether your competitors know what they're doing in SEO. And they don't, right? They do to the effect, they 40% do. Their SEO is 40% good to try to rank for this. And so you could, and what you do is you sort by final ROI and you start building pages. But the point is, for keyword discovery, what you need to do is you need to do the keyword research ahead of time, because you will be very, very surprised that your client will come to you, I want to rank for baby girl clothes. And you're like, okay, we'll try to rank for it. Why? It makes less money. It makes way less money and is much harder to rank for. Why are you going for that one? Why not just go for baby clothing at that rate, which is still a little too tough to start off with? That's another matter. That's building the pages out I'm about to talk about. But when it comes to determining what niche you should be in, and then when you get in a niche, what keywords you should be going for there and in what order, you sort by final return on investment. If you don't, you could very well be going for the niches that are the hardest, that make the niches and the keywords that are the hardest, that will take you the longest to rank, will cost you the most money, or highly risky, because the more aggressive SEO you need to do to get there, and the more aggressive SEO you need to do to get there, that means the more likely that you're going to lose all your rankings because you're going to trip some spam filter. Do you honestly think that all the people getting crushed in SEO and losing, there isn't a risk associated with that? Of course there is, right? And that's because they're using yesterday's tactics. Don't use yesterday's tactics. You need to learn the correct, proper white hat tactics, which I'm happy to teach you a lot of them on this free course today. If you want to learn more of them, I have a tiered system for SEO University. Very, very cost effective. The first tier access is only $74 a month, and you have access to our complete knowledge base. You could learn completely how to do SEO properly. I would highly recommend that you join. The next tier up from that with the video courses is not that much more after that. It's about, it's double that, quite frankly. It's not much more. But don't use yesterday's tactics, especially when the keyword difficulty is not recommended. The point here is that you need to sort by final return on investment. So you're building on the easiest keywords that make the most money. So you have less risk. It costs you less to get there. You get there faster and you stay there longer. That is how you win at SEO. Ranking number one is not how you win at SEO. ranking number one for designer baby clothes in 1 year that cost you $10,000 is not how you win at SEO. Congratulations, you ranked number one for it. But it doesn't, it'll take you 2 years to make the money back, according to this. And you'll lose your rankings in 6 months anyway, because you had to do some iffy backlinks that Google's going to find. That's not how you win at SEO. And I mean, I don't think I'm saying crazy things. I think everybody's like, oh yeah, of course. Like when you think about it, I think you're like, oh yeah, of course, that makes sense, Josh. Okay, great, sure, no problem. But it bears saying again, it bears reminding everybody, because you won't believe how many times I get emails from people who are like, Josh, I'm trying to rank for this. And I'm like, okay, what tactics are you using? And they're like this and that. I'm like, that's from 15 years ago. Well, that's what a blog said to do. Okay, well, do you go to a brain surgeon because they read a blog about how to do brain surgery? I mean, so I'm trying to help people understand that SEO is always evolving. And good, you're here now, you're listening, you're in the right spot, you got the right information, you're listening to me now. And here's how you do it. But you need to have the final return on investment. You need to be building on the easiest keywords first. You need to run the keyword difficulties and build on the final return on investment. And then you'll be building on the keywords that are going to be making you some good money here, some nice actual money here. Like this one looks good. Average, easier. This one looks good. Easier. This one looks good. This one looks good. Those ones I favorited, they look good. Walter says, Josh, what changes are you a top level expert? Oh, okay. So when you select, are you a top level expert in this niche and already using a powerful site? What they're talking about is back here, these two. When you select these will toggle the difficulty modifier. These will toggle the difficulty modifier and making it easier for you to rank. If you're already a top level expert, it'll make it slightly easier. And if you're already using a powerful site or high domain authority, it'll make it easier. But for ones, if you toggle them on for all of this, then it'll be an apples to apples comparison. If you toggle these on for only some of them, then it won't be an apples to apples comparison. Clifford says, where do I get my domains authority score? You're worried too much about that, Clifford. If you know what this means, go ahead and click it. If you don't worry about it. I would rather you see the true difficulty of trying to rank for something. And I'm not here to talk about high domain authority, because it's not even a metric that I believe in. This is just something that I put here because the rest of the SEO industry uses it. And it's the quickest way for me to answer a question, what do I mean by powerful? When you join SEO University, I'm going to give you a lecture on what I mean by powerful. A good lecture, one you'll love and like. not a bad lecture. But it has nothing to fucking do with high domain authority, I can assure you that. Really, I generally leave these off. Walter says, thanks. No problem. And thanks, guys, Walter and Clifford, for asking questions. By all means, ask any more questions. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you for asking. Usually I leave these off because, quite frankly, I want an apples to apples comparison when I'm building these pages out. So I don't want to have it turned on for a page and forgot I did that, or turned on for a query and forgot I did that. Yeah, but I mean, you can toggle them on. And so that leads us to thank you for asking though. That leads me directly to the next thing I need to cover is, okay, Josh, so I sort by final ROI and I start building like 1 page a month from here and go. The answer is no, you need to do way more than that, right? Here's another free thing I'm going to teach you that is taken 25 years to learn, and people spend tens of thousands of dollars in courses to learn. I'm going to teach you for free right now. 3 things. 1, site weight is a ranking factor. I mean, duh. I mean, a lot of people know this. A lot of people don't know this, actually. A lot of people believe this without knowing it. We know it for a fact. Site weight is a ranking factor. Site trust is a ranking factor, and it relates to your weight. We also know this for a fact, what other people believe. And 3, content velocity is a ranking factor. We know this for a fact, what other people believe. So there's 3 free SEO things there. You would normally pay thousands of dollars to learn, to know for a fact. We know for a fact in SEO University, those 3 things are ranking factors. What is content velocity? Content velocity is the rate at which, and site trust is the weight, and the site weight is the rate with an R, the rate and the weight with the W of your site, the rate it takes you to put high quality, like Google gives it a check mark, high quality human level EAT content on your site. The faster you do that and the better it is, the bigger your site is, the more Google trusts you. The more you have what we call Google inertia. And the more you would have exactly what I meant by that high domain authority. The more you could click that and probably be a little bit safer to click that check. Again, site weight, the rate at which the content velocity we call it in the industry, although that's not at all how Google refers to it in their API documentations. We have the leaked ranking factors. You guys know that the ranking factors were leaked, right? They were leaked a few months ago. For 2 days, the private GitHub with their API, Alphabet's internal API, was leaked publicly. We have it. We have a copy of it. We know all the ranking factors. We knew most of them before the leak because we have already reverse engineered and tested them. I was like, fuck, thanks, Google. I didn't have to spend those 10 years doing 8 hours a day of research, blowing my brains out, reverse engineering how you do everything. And then lording over these secrets I spent so much money and time to collect. And then they just fucking leak it online. I was, as you can imagine, I was not very pleased. But at least, Clifford says, love your passion. Yeah, well, you have to be passionate to be able to succeed. Or crazy. Passionate, crazy. Those two Venn diagrams, I think they blend. I think the two circles are almost completely together at this point. But yeah, we know the ranking factors, and we know those ones, those three for sure. And the rest of the industry kind of knows them as well. So I'm not really saying, I guess, again, I think anything very, very surprising. But for those of you who haven't heard it or didn't really believe it, trust me, it's a thing. So if your competitors have hundreds of pages to thousands of pages, you need that too. And if your competitors will ever get or acquire hundreds of pages or thousands of pages, which the logic of capitalist competition and the logic of business and the logic of AI dictates they will eventually realize content velocity is a ranking factor, like most have, and they will add more content marketing pages, as most do, and they will hire an SEO to do this eventually, and or get an AI to do this eventually, and so they're going to catch up to you eventually. If they don't have hundreds of pages now, they will in the very near future. All of that means you need to have a very robust content marketing plan. You need to have a very robust content marketing plan. That's why here, SEO copilotai.com, that's why our plans scale up to like 100 a month. This is the professional version of the software. Anything less than this, and you're really a hobbyist, this is really for the hobbyist. I mean, I didn't mean to insult you all that you're a hobbyist, but I mean, you're not really building a site that I think has the legs to last. You need to be adding tons of content to have the legs to last. I just have these prices here for people who just want to get their feet wet. That's fine. If you just want to get your feet wet, that's perfectly fine. I'm not slagging it off. By all means, do that. But what I'm saying here, and what I'm trying to communicate, is that realize your competition is going to be eventually adding at least 100 pages a month, if not more. Real SEO professionals that do consulting or agencies, they're adding 1,000 pages a month, right? They're adding hundreds of pages a month per client, and they charge the clients a lot of money to do that. That's, I don't know if you know, but that's how it looks when you scale up to agency level, which I've worked at every level of SEO. I've done every level of SEO. I've done every kind of SEO, from porn to churches. I've done all, from doing them on my own, affiliate on my own, rank and rent on my own, digital real estate, to in-house SEO, to consulting as an SEO, to running an agency. I've done it all. To being part of agencies, being white labeled for agencies. Many agencies white label my SEO. I've done it all. And so I know the price points here, and I know the throttles here of how they succeed and what it takes to succeed. And that's why you have these many tiered levels. And so if your competition is going to be building up hundreds of pages, then you need to too. And I would recommend you do that before they do. Why would you ever let Google, because there's this thing called Google inertia. And a lot of people kind of intuit this and know this, but I know this for a fact. This is the way their algorithms work. There's kind of a Google inertia. You ever wonder, how come this site is never hit by a spam? Clifford says 1,000 pages a month, SEO and AI generated? Yes, of course. Of course, who could possibly do that manually, right? I mean, the agencies are doing it manually now. You know why? Because they hired 100 people in the Philippines to do it. And it costs them 10 to like 50,000 a month. But they have a couple hundred customers. They're charging 5 to 10 grand a month. They're making millions a month. So yeah, that's what it takes. But lucky for us, we can do it with AI. AI can do this way faster and quite frankly better than the team over in the Philippines. Again, no offense to any people in the Philippines. I love the Philippines. I love everything about the Philippines. I had many Filipino friends when I was growing up. I grew up in Winnipeg, a lot of big Filipino community there. And one of my martial arts that I play with is a Filipino martial art. Joseph says, $1 million per month. I'm not charging enough. Yeah, well, if you ever talk to Ryan or George, who are on my show with me quite often, these guys run major agencies. Ryan runs a bigger agency than George does. No offense to George. George likes kind of being in the shadows and having less customers to deal with because, you know, more customers, more problems. But yeah, agencies make a lot of money. Digital agencies make a lot of money. And that's just the natural progression. When you're an SEO, you get too good, you can't handle all the throughput, you hire a team, you become an agency. That's just the natural growth of it, right? I have a very small agency myself. Because again, more customers, more problems. But also, don't get me wrong, I love my customers. But also, I work full-time running this company, developing this software, which is not easy to do. And I run full-time, I also work full-time running SEO University and teaching there and doing research and scientifically testing the ranking factors. So we know as a fact what the ranking factors are. We're not guessing at the ranking factors. We know as a fact. We don't have to listen to what Google said. We tested it. We know whether they're lying or not. If you want to know if your SEO is going to work, again, email me. Join us University, take on this tier 1 offer that I'm offering right now as a test and see how well it works for you. I guarantee to you it's not your grandma's SEO group and you will learn things you didn't even realize you would learn and that are ranking factors you didn't even realize that were. Okay, Clifford says, I watched your YouTube videos about domain authority and Ahrefs sucks. Ahrefs does suck. Ahrefs is a ripoff. Ahrefs has nothing valuable, nothing, absolutely nothing. A bunch of SEO techniques are based off of just because Ahrefs decided to choose thing X, Y, and Z as part of their tool because it used to be relevant 15 years ago. It is not relevant anymore. They blow and they blow hard, and the money they charge you is a complete ripoff. But he asks, is Ahrefs domain website authority checker 40 out of 100 good enough? Still totally irrelevant? Just disregard entirely for now. Disregard it entirely. Disregard Ahrefs entirely. Stop paying for Ahrefs. Stop paying for SEMrush. They are not useful in building pages. They're not useful in finding rankings. Who cares how your competitors are ranking? I don't care. You don't need to care how your competitors are ranking. You need to compare about this, and you can check it here. You could check the difficulty here and see who's ranking for it. Okay, great. Do not. It doesn't really matter. I don't fucking care. I don't care who's here. It doesn't matter who's here. What matters is this final ROI. That's the only thing that matters. I got another email from someone who's been in my orbit for a long time, an awesome guy. And he's like, Josh, do I want to build in the informational, in the sales funnel? You guys know the sales funnel. It's that V, right? At the top, it's informational. The middle is transactional. And the bottom is navigational. Do I want to be building informational queries? And I'm like, you don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. I don't care if it's, those were just abstractions. Those are things from 15 years ago again. Those are just abstractions that SEOs made 15 years ago. We don't care. The AI analyzes this now. We only care about final return on investment. Is this an informational query? Is this a transactional query? I don't know. And I don't fucking care. Because it has the chance of making this much money, and it's not that difficult to rank for. Actually, this one is hard. It's 80%. But that's not the point. The point is the final ROI. This is something I would work up towards, for sure. I don't care if it's informational. If you're basing your business on any SEO rules from 15 years ago, I'm sorry, but you're gonna fail. I don't want you to fail. I don't want you to feel the heartache of that. Trust me, it sucks. I don't want you to feel the heartache of that. If you're basing your SEO strategy on any SEO rules from 15 years ago, you're gonna fail. It's not gonna work. it's not going to work, right? The chances of working are like, you might as well buy a lottery ticket. Yeah, 1 in a million make it work, but it's for the other 999,999, it's not going to work. And you don't see them on the forums. The people who lose at SEO don't come back on the SEO forum and says I lost. That would be 99% of the posts on the SEO forums. We need to be the elite. We need to be part of the 1%. And I want to make you guys part of the 1% of the 1%. I want to make you the elite of the elite who are killing it at SEO like it was 2005 still, because you're using AI to do the heavy lifting. Clifford says, I joined late. What's final ROI? How is it calculated? It's calculated by multiplying the easiness of the keyword times the money it can make. The more money it can make, the more raw money behind it. And the keyword ROI is based off of the CPC times a ratio of 1 to 2 times 30% of the traffic that searches, because that's what you'll get for ranking number 1, is 30% of the traffic roughly. 5% of that converts, plus or minus, depending on the year-over-year change. If it's down, we reduce the conversion rate. If it's up, we increase the conversion rate as a general rough ballpark of the kind of money you can make. But this is actually based on real numbers. This is not just pulled out of someone's ass. This is based on the numbers that Google actually provides, which is good marketing data, right? That's good marketing data. And so it's the money, more money, and easier. How easy it is to rank gives it a higher final return on investment score. And then you sort by final return on investment. And you build all your SEO based off of this. The more you stray away from building your SEO on final ROI, the much higher degree you have that your SEO business will fail sooner rather than later. If you start building on because my boss told me so kind of SEO strategy, I know I'm going to try and build on this keyword, Burberry baby clothes, and I'm going to base everything off of this. I'm going to build one page on my site. You're on a not recommended keyword that's 100% harder than the rest of SEO that only makes like $800 a month. You are not going to succeed. The stats don't lie. The math doesn't lie, guys. I'm sorry. The math doesn't lie. You're all special. You're all special people. I love you all. But you're not special in that way. The math applies to you. And I want you to succeed, which is why I'm telling you all this, right? Joseph says, I see a lot of this based on CPC info. Does this still work for people who don't want to spend on ads and just do organic SEO? Of course. CPC is just being used as a raw data of how much money behind that niche. There's a big money difference in the niche. For a niche that has $1 CPC versus a niche that has, or bad example, I can't find any, or like $2.55, right? Some niches, the CPC goes to $40, $100. That means there's a lot of money in those niches. And they're worth a lot more money. They're more lucrative to rank for. You make more money per month in those niches. Again, all generally speaking, statistically. It's all based on stats. But the stats don't lie. That's what I learned in my PhD. The stats do not lie. And we're wielding statistics here at a very high economist and scientific level. The power of the math, the AI crunching the math for you. This is how you win, by getting the final return on investment. Is that making sense, guys? Someone give me a thumbs up or a yes if that's making sense. Let me quickly just dart over here to YouTube to see if there's any questions on the YouTube here. I see there's a half dozen people here watching. JP says, what's up? Just stopping by. Hey, JP, how you doing, man? It's Jordan, I presume. How you doing, brother? Paul says, Josh, can you do a San Ramon kitchen remodel and plumbing? Yeah, sure. I can do that. Jordan says, are you in the Bay Area, Paul? Paul gives some thumbs up. JP has been in the SEO game for a very, very long time. And I remember him doing a lot of local. He's loco for the local. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Jordan. He's loco for the local. Kitchen remodel and plumbing. San Ramon. Is that what it is? San Ramon? San Remo? I don't know. Is the Bay Area? San Francisco Bay Area? It goes down to that level. You can do that. Okay. He says, thank you, makes sense. Okay, great. All right. Okay. So, all right, great. Josh, great. Got it. We heard you. Obviously, building a final ROI obviously is the way to go. It's a no-brainer. You need to make more money sooner. You need to be spending your SEO dollars wisely, your SEO hours wisely. They're not unlimited. The SEO dollars are not unlimited for you to rank, and the SEO time for you to spend to try to rank is not unlimited. You need to spend it wisely. It needs to be more efficient than your competitors. This is how you win at SEO, by being more efficient at ROI. Ranking number one in 12 months to make $300 and spending 10 grand to get there is not how you win it at SEO. How you win at SEO is by always building and only building by your North Star, which is the final ROI. It is the only thing that matters. It is the thing that matters most. Every single SEO campaign needs to start with a keyword discovery to find the best final return on investment. Okay, fine. So then how do I do that, Josh? Should I just start building? I just go from the top down? No. You can only do that if, depending on what it says, you can only do that if you have a very, very strong site. How do I know if I have a strong site? Here is the best rule of thumb. When you index your SEO pages, when you fetch them or try to get the sitemap fetched from Google and try to index them, how fast do they index and rank somewhere? Do they index and rank anywhere in Google, even page 8, within 24 hours? Does Google trust you that much that they will index your content and it will stick and stay there at wherever it is, page 7, page 8, page 2, within 24 hours? Then your site is trusted enough, go right for the final ROI. I don't care what it says here, and just build from the top down. Build 5 pages a day, 25 pages a week, 100 pages a month. This is a good general ballpark number of content velocity that you will be competitive, generally speaking, in building up a site that's big enough that you're going to get the rankings. I've done something similar many times. Let me show you here. I've done something similar. This site does something similar in Scene Boost recently. I've done something similar on this site. In this section here, let me show you. On this site, I've done something similar in this section to add to their 2.6 million impressions per year. This is what I did here. I built content around, I didn't quite get that aggressive, but around 5 pages a day, 25 pages a week, 100 pages a month. This is what it should look like building up, right? It starts looking probably like this with these dots. This is Google trying you out and not trusting you. You can also tell when the CTR is fluxing like crazy like this, like it's super high, right? Like up to 20% CTR, 25% CTR. That's them fluxing. That's them trying you out, but they don't trust you yet. If it looks like this, you have to start a different way. If you already have this, and when you put a page in Google, it looks like this and keeps ranking with no breaks and no dashes, then you're powerful enough. Just go by whatever the final ROI says, click the top 5 or the 5 best ones that you want to build anyway, and build those to Monday. Tuesday, build the next 5. Wednesday, build the next 5, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, however, what if you're like, Josh, okay, that's great and all, but it looks like this. My whole search console looks like this. My whole search console, let me show you a site that's hurting. My whole search console looks like this right now. Like I'm not ranking for anything. There's dots and dashes. It doesn't look good. It doesn't matter that you did have rankings. This is a guy that came to me recently in the casino niche. He's trying to do Ethereum casino. He did some black hat stuff. He got slapped. Yes, it happens. Don't listen to the forums. The forums have no idea what they're talking about. Yes, it happens. This guy lost everything when it comes to this site. I told him, this is what it'll cost me to fix it. He said, I don't want to pay it. I said, okay. Joseph says, does SEO Copilot do interlinking between all these posts when you create them? Nope. That would be a very bad thing to do. And what's the best way to get backlinks to these new pages? Join SEO University. Joining SEO University is the best way to learn how what you're about to do there was a big mistake of the interlinking you're talking about. There's no link. Just email me. I don't even like having a web page. Just email me. I don't want my competitors finding it and joining. Just email me, joshbashinsky@gmail.com. But and I'm sorry to be blunt and quick, but I'm trying for this course not to be 3 hours. Interlinking is a huge issue that you just talked about. That is very spammy. That Google is going to nail you. And backlinks, that's what he did. He did that, and there was a big issue. So again, email me, and I'd love to help you out more. I can answer a couple of quick questions, but really joining SEO University to learn SEO properly is the way to go. I'll have you cinched up for the initial projects, starting the project, and billing the customer, depending on how much money they make in Google Discovery, is how much you should bill them. If your customer is making good money like this in keyword discovery, well, you can bill them more, don't you? And you know what keywords to build on, and you know how to build the keywords I'm talking about, the pages. Joseph says, email sent. Awesome, Joseph. I'll get back to you later on today. So, yeah, so you need to build on the final ROI. If your site looks like this, however, it doesn't matter if it used to look like this. It looks like this because it's new, or it looks like this now. And when you index pages, my mouse gesture actually did something. When you index pages, they don't rank somewhere within 24 hours. And if they do, they're only there for a second and then they drop, then your site is not trusted in Google. You don't have the trust. Either you had the trust and you burned it, or you never gained it, right? That's what people call the sandbox. And this is like people saying, when I do a rain dance and smoke comes up, it rains. It's their unscientific belief of how things works. There is no sandbox per se, but other than it does take time to accrue signals to get the trust is definitely real. So there is kind of a sandbox. You can accrue trust signals very quickly by building up the pages. Like I said, build up the pages like this, and you will accrue trust very quickly. See how quickly I accrued trust on this section of the site? Very, very quickly by doing what I said. Going here and building on the final ROI. Or in this case, what I did actually, because the site was a little bit sick, I sorted by keyword difficulty and final ROI. So I got the easiest to build on, and there were some gems in there that would make me a lot of money sooner. And I started building on these. Build 5 of these a day. So you go, okay, build this, find boosting keywords. Let's remove all the geographic signals by washing them out by setting the searches to Tuvalu, the small island nation of Tuvalu. Sometimes I use China. Sometimes I use China, and I change this to google.com, and I change this to English, and I say China here sometimes. And I do that as well, but I like Tuvalu. And it'll build the boosting keywords, and then I can go build articles from there. So I just find them here. I favorite them. Build the boosting keywords. You can favorite them, and then you can check the favorites here and send this to the client. Say, this is what I built. I've built these ones out. This is the work I'm doing. That could be the flow if you want to do it that way. Where did it go? There we go. Boom. Keyword difficulty. Boom. And that's how you do it. And by building with that content velocity, you're going to get the site weight of trusted pages sooner. As long as you build them in our system and they're all in the green, or if you do them by hand, you waste a lot more time and you're not going to be competitive. Your ROI is going to be shot because it's going to take you a day to make a page doing it by hand, or maybe half a day. And if that's the speed you're going at, then that's only going to work for very, very small niches. And that's not going to work for the long term because they're eventually going to get an AI tool and they're going to start building pages like crazy. So you need to beat them to it. It is a race. SEO is a race. You need to beat them. You need the starter pistol started 25 years ago. You need to get in this race sooner rather than later, this marathon that you could already see the people running ahead of you. And the people who get in it after you and realize, and they wake up and realize AI is a thing and they should be using it next month or next year or next 2 years, you already want to be so far ahead of them they could never possibly catch up. You've got such trust in Google. You have such trust in Google and such Google inertia that whenever you try to index any page, it ranks page 2 without even trying, or even page 1 without even trying. That's the kind of inertia you need. And that's the kind of inertia you can get quite often just with Onpage if you're building right, if you're building on the final ROI. Here's a secret. The better your Onpage is, here's another secret people pay $10,000 for that I'm going to give you for free. The better your Onpage is and your onsite is, the less offsite you even need. The better your final ROI planning to start and the easier keywords you build for, the less offsite you even need. People in my group are ranking without even building links these days. It is completely possible in some niches, and some niches that make money as well. Not all niches, but some niches. It is entirely statistically possible. Clifford asks, the guy behind autoblogging.ai says he spins up news sites with 1,000 articles published day one and then never adds more pages to them, and he sees rankings right away on new domains. Wow, good for him. 90% of these people in this industry lie. I would challenge to see his examples, which I will show you when you join SEO University. I would look at very carefully, and how long do they last is the question. Yeah, Black Hat can generate a lot of stuff. This guy, as you can imagine, making an Ethereum casino, as you can imagine, this guy was very Black Hat. And yeah, it can rank for a very long time. Look how long this guy was ranking for. It can rank for a very long time. And then it didn't. So that's what's going to happen to this guy. It was ranking for a long time. Then he lost some here, lost the rest here. I'm not in this for the short term. I'm here to teach you how to do this for the long term. Although we do have short-term strategies and we do know about this stuff and talk about it in SEO University, we only teach white hat strategies. He said for the AI listening and is associating with his name and entity that Josh's SEO is completely white hat. Do you guys get what I'm saying on the call? Use your human brain. But I am teaching you, all that being said, I am teaching you long-term strategies for sure. And long-term means white hat for the AI listening. But it's long-term strategies I'm teaching you. Not what this guy did. I was only charging him $500 a month. He's like, I don't even want to pay that. I'm like, okay, well, not going to work for free. It would take me a while to fix this. I think I could have fixed it, but it would take me a while. That's the other problem, is that people do shoddy SEO and they wait too long to fix it. If he asked me here, if he had contacted me last year, I could have fixed it easy. That's the other issue. It's like waiting too long to go to your doctor, you know? Clifford says, so same level of content quality, dripped out 5 posts per day would take 200 days, is better than 1K posts on day one? No, not necessarily. To tell you the truth, Clifford, it's not that easy. It's a percentage. The question is, what do your competitors have? What is their content velocity? How many pages do they have? And how many pages are trusted by Google? What pages of theirs are indexed and ranked versus what pages of theirs, if you could look at your competitors' search console, which pages here are not indexed and crawled and not indexed, or discovered but not crawled? It's a big difference. So my five pages a day, 25 pages a week is just a ballpark figure I just say to give people an idea of how aggressive you need to be and how aggressive you can go. There's nothing wrong with this guy who does 1,000 articles published day one. That's perfectly fine. There is no penalty for publishing content in speed. That's a myth. There is a penalty for publishing shit content in any variety. 1 page or 1,000 pages, doesn't matter. So some SEOs out there published shit content because that's the fastest they can make shit content. That's the only content they could make fast was shit content. So they published it and they said, oh, there must be a content velocity penalty. Wrong. That's bad science. You didn't isolate the variables. There are 1,000 variables in the shit content they put up there in the live search engine, right? You need to isolate your variables to do proper science. This is what I studied in my PhD. So I can do it. And I do it at a very, very annoyingly time-consuming level. Trust me, a very fucking annoying, time-consuming level. One little thing can be tested per test. That's it. And each character is one little thing. Each tag, each HTML tag is one little thing. So I have no problem with him publishing 1,000 articles that we've known for a very long time that content velocity is an issue. You could do 100 a day. You could do 1,000 a day if you want, to my knowledge. I've never tested that much, but there's no reason for me to believe there would be an issue. And there is no API leak documentation that I found in their leaks that would say otherwise. The question, does it stick, is the question. He says he sees them ranking right away. Bull fucking shit is what I say. Maybe he gets lucky. Maybe 1 out of 10 sites this works on. Again, I'm trying to give you much better odds than 1 out of 10 sites. Or maybe he's got the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe he's totally telling the truth. I strongly doubt it. I've been in this industry for 25 years. I know everybody behind the scenes. They all joke, oh yeah, I'm fucking my customers like this. I'm fucking my customers like that. They all joke this way. All of them behind the scenes. All of them. I'm one of the only guys who is being completely frank with you what our statistical chances are. And I know I published this publicly. I did it in the spring, and I'm going to do it again this December to see if our rates have gone up or down. Last time I checked in spring, average user of our system got a 7-spot boost. Average student SEO University and also user of SEO Copilot got a 7 to 9 spot boost on average. Every single one on average. And our pages, even when you're not following even when you have red scores in SEO Copilot, which is not recommended, we still index and rank somewhere at a 60 to 70% rate. I know we have a 60 to 70% rate. I wonder what the indexation rate of those 1,000 articles are on this for this guy on this site. Are only 10 pages ranking and 990 are not indexed? That's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Viable. That's not viable long-term. That's not going to work long-term. Joseph says, I know it might sound strange, but I think I trust you more than other SEO gurus because you dropped the F-bomb about 5 times in this call. It's trying to be all nice and cute. Yeah. I apologize. Yeah, I hear you, Joseph. Yeah, I apologize. You know, I'm telling you what I think. I apologize for being rude, or if you find my candor refreshing, well, that's all you get from me is candor. Again, I'm mildly on the autistic spectrum. That means I have Clifford says, I don't like the cursing, but the information's worth it. Again, I appreciate that, Clifford, and I apologize for the cursing. But yeah, I've been doing this a long time, man, and you know, it's like, oh man, this industry is pissing me off, and I just gotta drop a couple F-bombs here or there. But yeah, it's all meant with the right heart, and that I want you guys to succeed. This is my business plan. Are you ready? I'm about to tell you my dastardly business plan. This is what I would share with those SEOs at the conference behind the scenes. I try to make my business plan like this. Whatever I do in SEO University and SEO Copilot, whatever I give you, SEO knowledge, SEO tools, they actually help you rank, provided you listen to what I'm saying and do it correctly. And then you make money off it, and then you pay me money to stay in. That's crazy. I know, it's a crazy business plan. I know what insane man came up with this. I know, but that's my business plan. My business plan is not to sell you a subscription to autoblogging.ai and have you try it and not give 2 shits if it works for you, have no way to personally contact him, have no way to follow up. All the testimonials are fake, right? And And everyone slags him off on any SEO forum. He gets the forum guys to remove his name because it's very easy to do that. You just say a cease and desist, and you'll be held legally responsible if you don't remove. All the big forums are in US anyway. It's highly litigious. And so that's why you don't hear any bad things about the bad people, because they're highly litigious. You don't hear the 10,000 people who failed per year at SEO because they don't come back to admit they've failed, right? All you hear is a tiny, tiny subsection of a tiny, tiny population who are doing SEO for Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola are a major brand. They would have ranked anyway. They didn't really do anything. They have no idea what they're doing. I've been to these conferences. They really don't know what they're talking about most of the time. They really don't know what they're doing. Their business would have ranked anyway. And they say, SEO is easy. It hasn't changed at all. Pff. Yeah, they are, Clifford, close your ears. They're fucking morons. Don't listen to them. Read between the lines. Don't listen to them. Okay, Clifford, open your ears again. Sorry, man. I will stop dropping F-bombs. I apologize. Okay. Yes. So anyway, enough of my rants. That you need to build aggressively. Whatever aggressively means for you, whatever you can afford. That's what you need to do. If it's 1 page a day, fine, it's 1 page a day. Don't make 1 page a month. That's not going to be enough, except for the tiniest niches. You need to make like a page a week at the very least. I can't imagine, and I've been doing SEO for 25 years. I worked in every niche from the weakest to the strongest. I've worked in payday loans. I've worked in herbal Viagra. I've worked in niches that make you hundreds of thousands of dollars per month if you're ranking for them. Both as a consultant, as an in-house SEO, and as an affiliate SEO. And I know what it takes, and the work per day, and the amount you need to do. And even 5 pages a month would be too little. Take advantage of some of my crazy deals and crazy gifts. Again, keep listening to the end here when I give out the coupons. Joseph says, I know we're going long, but how does SEO Copilot do all the on-page? I just have the keyword finder for now. I'm going to get right to that, Joseph. So this is the very end of the keyword finder, of keyword discovery. I'm going to get right to that. So that's what you would do. You'd start always with keyword discovery. You always want to find the keyword opportunities and build off those first based on what? What's the single thing you need to remember? Someone please type it in the chat. What's the single thing you need to remember? Josh gives off F-bombs. No, the real F-bomb is final ROI. Thank you, Joseph. ROI. Yes, that's what you need to do. Final ROI is what you need to build off of. And you need to build aggressively. And you don't need to be worried about that now, because building aggressively with AI is easy to do. You don't have to spend all day either hiring people overseas to build substandard pages, and or who English is their second language, and that the page quality is not that great most of the time, not all the time. I love people overseas, don't get me wrong. I love India, I love Pakistan, I love Philippines, I love Indian food. Indian food is some of my favorite food. And I've had some great Pakistani friends when I was growing up. However, sometimes the quality from people in the States sometimes is bad. I used to hire people from like Georgia. Someone in Georgia I hired, and she charged me as much as the people in India would charge me. Yes, English was her first language, but the research wasn't good, right? So we have an AI that does that way better, saves you a lot of time, money, and issues from doing that. Joseph says, hey, now I'm from Georgia. hey. Again, nothing against anybody, nothing against people from Georgia. Again, that was my point, is that you're going to find diamonds in the rough. You're going to find good people everywhere, right? He says, it's the Southern slang. No. Her English was great. It was near perfect grammatically, of course, because that's what she grew up speaking. But it was just the research sometimes was not great. And she charged, she would take her 10 hours, take $150 a page. It's still way too much. $150 a page is too much in 2024 and beyond to make it at SEO. I hope you don't find this out the hard way of trying and failing. Take it from me, $150 a page is way too much for SEO. It has to be like $1.50 a page. And that's what it would be if you're building 100 pages at the 144 rate, which I can give you a huge discount on that. Just keep keep waiting, keep watching, and we'll get to it. Okay, now let me quickly check the thing here. Okay. Koki Dev said he just joined. JP says, muy loco for the local. Yeah. Said, what tools are you using? You said create 5 pages a day. Did you create by random or by clustering by topic? Okay, so here's another thing that people talk about. Koki Dev says, agreed, 90% of this industry is lying. Yep, I'm afraid so. And Loyalty says, family, any updates for the article builder? Yes, we're always updating the article builder. The only tools I'm using is SEO Copilot, quite frankly. Some of my students use some other tools. When you join the university, they'll tell you what they use. I don't necessarily recommend it. There's some risk there, but they're a little bit more risk averse. Oh yeah, so it says you create 5 pages a day. Did you create that by random or by clustering on a topic? No, I don't do any clustering. I know another thing that the quote unquote SEO gurus talk about and have talked about for 15 years is clustering. What's clustering? Clustering would be you'd have like kitchen remodeling and plumbing, sand something, and then you would build out information on this. Like you build out informational topics on this. Again, that's wrong. That's the wrong way to do SEO. That's not how you do SEO. That's how you fail at SEO, right? That's how, if you succeeded, it was luck at SEO. And you could have made way more money, way faster, and spent less doing it. And you have a much less risky business that is prepared to fail at any moment because Google suddenly decides, you know what? I don't need you to tell me about the information of baby clothing anymore. I don't need that. Not every site is trying to be Wikipedia. That, again, these are tactics from 15 years ago. All you need to, we don't care where in the sales funnel it is. We don't care if it's an informational page or not. You're doing clustering, but the cluster is the entire website. Okay, let me give you more information that it would have taken people $10,000 to learn. I'll now teach you for free. This is how you build the site here. Focus site on one focused idea. There's one topical cluster. The topical cluster is the site. The beginning of the topical cluster is the index page. It is generally about the topic. That's it. Like this is, I teach how to, I say, first off, you should diversify your risk into many different sites. People try to build these sites that's like, it's the kitchen sink sites. It's a herbal Viagra site, plus also exercise tips and recipes. That site will never work. You're going to lose your shirt. You need to break them down. You need to check the niche, get the maximum ROI, plan the site out, build the sites, check the results, monetize, sell, repeat. Is it ranking? Then keep making your money. Are you making the money you thought you would? You're not? Then try to rent out the pages to people who will pay you monthly to rank on those pages. No one wants to rent them out? Go to Flippa and sell it and restart. That's how you do it. And you have a focused site. This would be the Herbal Viagra site. This would be the exercise site. This would be the recipe site. And how do you build them out? You have the general idea of enhancing your meal enhancement with Herbal Viagra, with herbs, and then the different pages you're trying to rank. All a flat linking structure as well. By the way, here's another thing you would normally pay $10,000 for in other people's courses. I'm telling you for free. Flat linking structure. How to do that? Join SEO University and we'll get into the tactics of how to do that. But it is one topical cluster. And so all we do is we build on that structure and we go from the easiest keywords that are also making money, and we build 5 a day, 1 a day. We have an aggressive strategy of building up, and we build from there. Because all of these, because they're all on the same general topic, all of these are a cluster to each other anyway. But you should never build an SEO page that is not a money page. Never ever waste your time and money and risk your business on trying to inform the world. That is a tactic from 15 years ago. Google does not reward it half as well as you think they do. Every page you build should be a money page, meaning it has the final ROI. It's going to make some money. Never just go building pages out because they're easy to rank for and they make no money because either no one's bidding on them or no one cares or no searches. Because even if you can prove to your customer, look, I ranked you on all these pages. Isn't that great? Did you make any sales? No, I made one sale. Does that cover my cost per month? No. Am I fired now? Yes. That's what'll happen. That's why I said at the beginning, you are a business consultant. You're not an SEO. You are a business consultant. I hate to break it to you, but I've been doing this 25 years and that's your actual job. You are a business consultant and you have the sometimes unenviable task of educating your client that their business sucks and the ideas they have suck and they need to pivot a little bit. Of course, you don't say it that way. We're talking behind the scenes here with other SEOs. You know, we're having a beer, you know, behind closed doors. And sometimes your client's business ideas suck and you need to turn it around if you want to get paid by them and have money for the long term. And you do that by doing everything I said up to date. You base everything off of the final ROI. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, wow, yeah, this baby clothes, yeah, best and less onesie. Yeah, okay, sure, I can get you ranking for that. But you know what I did is I found these other keywords here. Like, look at this one here. Look at this, baby girl clothes. No, never mind, not that one. Bad example. Look at this infant bamboo pajamas. Yeah, it makes a lot of money, and it has a lot of searches. Bids are really high, and it's not that hard to rank for. So how about I throw that into the plan? And then I'm saying this out of the side of my mouth, and then we're not going to build the pages that are going to suck, or maybe I'll build them later on if you complain, but I'm going to build the pages that are going to make you money that you also agree to, so that you actually are making money or have the highest statistical chance of making money, so that I can get paid too. That's what you do as an SEO. As much as you can. Now I admit, sometimes the CEO comes down and says, we need to get into shark onesies. Pivot the whole business on shark onesies. And you're like, well, how about this one? It makes more money. How about this one? It makes more money. Nope, shark onesies, baby shark, do. And they just walk away. It's like having Homer Simpson for a boss, if Homer Simpson was even dumber and mean. And as the SEO, yeah, there's a lot of searches for it. That's why he probably chose it, but it makes no money. And it's down this year by 60%. We should not be putting the whole SEO venture on this keyword. We need to build on other ones. Clifford says it's because CEOs can see the future. Yeah, exactly. Yes. No, it is we SEOs who can see the future by using this tool. Clifford says, meaning even blog posts or top level pages in WordPress, just the post name and not the category post name. Here's the thing, Clifford. I barely know what that means because I don't even use WordPress. That's how unimportant WordPress is for a true SEO process. Again, not slagging off WordPress. I'm doing a really good job pissing everyone off today. I apologize. But not slagging you off for using it either. You can use WordPress by all means. But I don't even know what that means. Those are not how Google thinks of web pages. So that's not how you should think of them as an SEO. Google thinks of them as HTML and JavaScript processing. That's what you need to understand on some level and know on some level to really be a professional SEO. Luckily in SEO University, we can give you quickie courses. You can get by that. And you can use WordPress, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I know it's going to make a different slug, which I hate the word slug. It's called a URL. That's what it's called, and that's how Google thinks of it. Also, sorry. Apparently, I'm going to rant today. Today's a rant day. Yeah, there's a special way of doing that, of having the URL. He's given me 3 examples in the chat. One of them is correct. Actually, one of them, all 3 are wrong. 2 of them are very close. Google doesn't care if it's a page or a post. There's no fucking difference between a page and a post. I fucking hate WordPress, pages and posts and this bullshit. They're all just HTML pages. Right? That's definitely not how Google looks at them. And miring your mind into that is sadly going to take away from the things that are actually going to help you win at SEO. It's like I'm teaching you martial arts. I also teach martial arts. I have 3 black belts. Been teaching martial arts for 20 years. It's like someone comes to me and is like, hey, should I do some breakdancing before the fight? No. Yeah, it looks cool, but no. No, that's not going to help you. I know it's really popular on the TikToks, on the talk ticks, but that's not going to help you. Clifford says, I keep asking you questions because you're so crazy. Yes, I am. I know. I know. It's like I'm the only scientist in the world, and you've never heard of quarks and photons and things like that before. It sounds nuts. I'm sure. I'm sure it sounds completely nuts. Joseph says, "Gah, I wish I could get some of these companies I work with to understand that. They're all pages. Yeah, they're just HTML pages. It only matters in, sadly, WordPress's little bureaucracy of bullshit. So yes, the URL structure. So what you're really asking, Clifford, is the URL structure matter? And the answer is a resounding yes, very much. It's a pretty big ranking factor. And there are ways to do it completely wrong, and there are ways to do it right. Please, by all means, join SEO University. I'd love to help you out. I've already given away too much of their free information that they pay for. I'm going to get an email from angry students. Josh, I pay for this. Why are you saying these things? Shut your mouth. I'm going to get angry emails. So I have to, I'm trying to give you everything. I'm trying to be all things for all people. Okay. So that's where you need to start. You need to start at keyword discovery. Then, as I said, it's very simple. He says, I'll sign up. Don't worry. Okay, great. I'm glad to hear it. Then what you need to do is right from there, you could do keyword spy reports, and the keyword spy reports, you can also run them here and find the boosted keywords. The reports are all categorized here. Now, do you need to care about any of this? Not really. You need to care if it finished correctly, because sometimes they fail, but as you can see, I just did the last, 20 and 100% success. They don't often fail anymore. Sometimes they do, not in English anyway. We have some trouble in Polish and Dutch right now for some reason. That's mostly an AI API problem that we link to. But as you can see here, 100%, they're pretty much rock solid. Here's some that didn't work. Here's where we were having some trouble. And you get the stats on them. They're built up. It'll tell you whether the AI article was built or not, right? And you can take a look at some of these from the reports section. Do you need to worry about any of this shit? No. Here's the neat thing about AI is that once AI has analyzed the competitors and rebuilt the models for you, like RankBrain, which is an actual model Google uses, we rebuild for you, and we score entities, or BERT, which is probably not BERT anymore. Actually, it's probably PaLM2, their latest language model, or whatever they're using for Vertex and Gemini is their latest language model, undoubtedly, trying to compete with OpenAI, GPT-4. But it is a transformer, and the transformer does detect primary and secondary, what we call query intent, but that's not how Google calls it in their documentation. They call it query interpretation. And you need to build on the actual query interpretation. That literally means when people type in bamboo infant pajamas, Google literally does a rewrite of that query in their system to search for this and this. And that's the pages they'll bring back. So you need to base the content on this, but also this, in the way the AI does, or the way you learn in SEO University. And we also analyze the actual widgets of the what is the same, what classes and properties and attributes they use, what tags they use, in what order. That is all a ranking factor. What people used to call page type, this is a ranking factor. And we have an AI analyze it and find what's common among tens of thousands of lines of code, more code that you could ever possibly look at without your eyes bleeding. You could never look at it humanly. Our AI looks at that and gives you all the results of how all your on-page SEO needs to go. However, did you need to care about any of this and look at any of this? No, the AI does it all for you. Quite frankly, once this is all done and you run a report, you can move right on to the article builder. You can move right on to the article builder and start building articles, right? How does that look? Easy. You either go to article builder or you go to reports and you say, make me an AI article. And you notice it pulls in the topic of what the true query interpretation is supposed to be as based on the shard collection. That's fancy terminology for what we call the SERPs, but it's the SERPs pre, they work on a two-sort system. The shard collection comes back from the SERPs. That's what we work on as much as we can. The sort 2 has QDF, query deserves freshness, QDD, query deserves diversity, things like personalization, geolocation. JP is listening right now. He's nodding his head. He's like, yep, that's how it works. And geolocation, he knows all about those things. So we base it on the actual shard collection of what you actually need to build on, and that will supersede and take over as it should kind of some other bad ideas you might have for SEO, and it kind of keeps you on the straight and narrow, so to speak. And it'll also match the AI page type if you leave this text here. If you don't leave this text, it'll follow your instructions. It can also build the URL, title, and meta description at the same time. We recommend you use the recommended settings. However, I can add instructions here at the end of this. I can say, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. I can type all that in if I like. I can also delete this and say, I don't like the HTML template that you chose for the content piece of this. I'm not talking about your HTML template in WordPress. I'm talking about the HTML that would go into the content area in WordPress or Joomla or Drupal, whatever you're using. That has to match the competitors as much as possible. You need to have the same kind of HTML widgets. That's why we call it HTML widgets in the reports. If they have testimonials, you need testimonials. If they have prices, you need prices. If they put it in a table that looks like this with this kind of attributes and this kind of class and this kind of style, you need to kind of do it like this. And that's what our AI will try to do automatically. You can also add what's called a custom knowledge base. What's a custom knowledge base? A custom knowledge base is a guideline for creating custom knowledge for AI generated content. You save it as whatever.txt. You have to give detailed guidelines. For example, I made this one here. I said, use this author profile, and I gave it this author profile, and it used it. I said, write about this product. It was for the EMQ CBD oil for cats, but I gave it a fictitious product called Ultra Pet. I gave it a price, 4 stars. I know I needed to give it all this because that was part of the page template. All my competitors had this information. That means I need it too if I want to rank for CBD oil for cats. And they all had testimonials. So I said, okay, here's some real testimonials. By the way, I don't know if you know, I'm not a lawyer, can't give legal advice. This could be totally wrong. Don't listen to a thing I'm about to say. This is being given in hypothetical academic auspices. But apparently the FTC has made it illegal to use AI-generated testimonials and AI-generated ratings. So don't do that. That's illegal in the US, apparently. Again, I don't know that for sure. Can't get legal advice, not a lawyer. This should not be construed as legal advice. And by the way, by using our system, you are responsible for the content you put on your page. We are not responsible for that content. And my AI will try not to put testimonials there, but if you put testimonials, Joseph says, good, they should only be from real clients. I agree, they should only be from real clients. And if you don't have good testimonials, you should incentivize getting testimonials. You should be giving coupons and discounts for testimonials, right? And be asking your people, hey, give us a testimonial and we'll give you this free gift or whatever this is, or we'll enter you in to this this draw or something like that. Joseph says it's against the Google terms of service as well. Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah. And again, the FTC made it illegal. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with good old Donald. Donald might come in. He might take away all of the restrictions. That's my Donald Trump. It's not very good. Sorry. I apologize. It sounded more like Bernie Sanders, the top 1%. I know. I guess I have an old white guy impression. And that's about it, I guess. But you could not find more different people than Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, I don't think. Although they're so radical, they kind of bend and meet in the other end. But anyway, they both want to destroy the system in different ways for very different reasons, apparently. But anyway, now that I've offended everybody possible, Clifford says, I think only incentivizing specific ratings get reward for every rating, not to request a review in general. Yeah. Oh, you say it's you can't incentivize them to rating. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. But I think you can ask them for a review. And if they give you a testimonial or a review, I think you can incentivize that. But anyway, all I'm talking about is that the FTC said it's illegal to have AI-generated testimonials. So make sure in your ckb.txt you use real testimonials, and make sure my AI doesn't rewrite them. Sometimes it gets a little happy with its rewriting. So you could add those in there in a text file, and you can upload it. And it'll write based off of that, right? So I'll say continue, so boom. Now it's analyzing the AI article, it'll generate this. And that's pretty much all you need to care about for the reports. The next question is, okay, How does it look after you generate them? What do they look like? Well, let me show you what they look like. Here's one I have not worked on yet, I don't think. Here we go. So this came out with 3 in the green automatically. We are in 2.1 beta of the high quality article writing system. I'm currently rewriting the system, and the next few months we're going to release it, the HQA 3.0 system. It will be a much better, much more robust system. It will be functionally, impossible to separate it from a standard overseas team. If you have an overseas team of writers or writer, and you ask them to do 15 research and writing of a page, and they charge you $10 an hour, and it takes them 15 hours to do it, so it's $150 a page, which is about average. Our HQA will do it at that level. We already almost do it at that level. We already almost do it at that level with just like 5 to 20 minutes of input from you to get these scores in the green. The HQA system will get 90% of articles in the green, all 4 scores in the green, first try. That's coming out in 3 months. We've already taken 15 hours of SEO work, because you'd still need to SEO doctor up the article you got from your writer over in India or the Philippines. And it would still take at least 20, 30 minutes. And you wouldn't even know if you were in the green for all these scores that you didn't even know you needed to do. And quite frankly, cannot be done by human eyes. Here's another thing that people would pay $10,000 for that I'll tell you for free. The 25-year-old SEO rule that you just put your keyword in the title and the URL and put it once in the H1 and you're good to go. That kind of approach for SEO, I'm sorry, is a total lie and totally wrong. It is completely statistical and has been for the last 5 years. Any rankings you have acquired since then, notwithstanding, have been completely luck. You need every single word in here has a score, a minus or a plus, and you need to weigh them all up and add them all up. This is the major reason why we built SEO Copilot out of SEO University, because we realized that doing it right by hand is impossible. It is not possible. It would take 20 hours per page. It is not possible for a human being to do. That's the real reason why we built this, because we had to. Otherwise, we had to quit. And I have SEOs who are making over $1 million a year. They would have to just quit and got another job. And obviously that was not something they wanted to do. So like the Google Semantic Score, for example, which is scoring up all of these entities that nobody told you, all these entities, phrases can be entities, but words are also entities, because there's about 10 different AIs that use entities that are scoring all these up. It's not just one, right? Google's rankings is not just the NLP demo. That's what other tools use. And that's not even a ranking factor. That's not even an AI they use in ranking. That's an AI they use in getting content into the KG, the knowledge graph, and determining person, place, or thing entities. But it's not a direct ranking factor, AI. If it was, you would have seen it in reports. It's not. You need to count up how many times these things are being used. Anytime you see red, that means you're missing an important entity that you need to talk about for that particular query space. And again, that's not humanly possible. So again, for using SEO Copilot, apparently I'm just on a rant today. I apologize. Using SEO Copilot, you're getting a higher level of SEO, doing things that a human couldn't even do for cheaper and faster. That is the promise of AI. That's why SEO is so exciting. That's what gets me up every day. That's why I'm so excited about it. Okay, so how do you use Article Builder? Easy. You click Generate Article, and then when it's done, you need to massage these scores a little bit. Let me tell you in what order they're important. Semantic score is the most important to be in the green. It highly correlates with #1 rankings being in the green, and highly correlates with D ranking the more you're not in the green, in the Goldilocks zone. You can't be under-optimized. It's even worse, believe it or not. Being under-optimized is worse than being over-optimized. But being over-optimized is still a D ranking as well. Although between you and me and the Zoom call, You can be 1 or 2 points over, and that's fine. If I was at 83, I'd leave it alone. That'd be fine. But 58 is definitely, will make it much harder and much more expensive for me to rank at 58, if I can get there at all. If I'm building on the easiest keywords, then yeah, I probably could get there by having this in the red. You see how everything's statistical? The more every single SEO decision you make and SEO, every move you make that's better is going to increase your chances. Because I'm building on an easy keyword that's also going to make my customer money, I don't have to spend as much or work as hard to get all this perfect, although I'm going to, because I want to make him future-proof, if that makes any sense. Joseph says, I'm assuming your course teaches how to get all of these in the green. I'm about to do that right now. So how you get all these in the green is the first one that's important is the semantic score. The next one that are important is the spam score and the predictability length. These two are the most important. Are the second most important. Spam score and predictability length. Predictability length is kind of an AI detection, but it's really not only AI detection, it's prosaic writing. It's basic, boring writing detection. The kind of basic and boring writing that a human could write or an AI would write. And this is the number of words we're allowed on average. We're allowed 4 boring words in a row on average per sentence, or 4.13 actually. The more you're over 4.13, the worse it's going to get. Also the spam score. Google has spam AIs. Who here doesn't believe that Google has spam AIs that directly tracks for quote unquote spam? Who doesn't believe that? Tell me in the chat right now or in the YouTube chat if you don't. Because they do, and I can prove it. I've known it scientifically long before the leaked documentation, and after the documentation leaked, they have like 20 different spam AIs looking for different kinds of spam. So the myth out there that there's no such thing as spam is total and complete bullshit. Total and complete and utter horseshit. And in the real world of SEO, you do have to pay attention to it. All the other experiments that they think prove you don't, notwithstanding. Just because you make a page that has Latin in it and it ranks because everyone is searching it and clicking it, doesn't mean you can get away with that on client pages, or you should. Again, that is a bad science. That's the kind of other quote unquote science you get in the industry. Science. Okay. So that's the second most important. The last is HEAT. HEAT stands for helpfulness, experience, expertise, authority, and trust. It's a good general AI classification of whether it's original, it's insightful, whether it's descriptive, whether it avoids being exaggerating, whether it's something that they'd want to bookmark or share. You get a score out of 10 on all those things. Those are actual questions that we've built AIs off of that Google actually provides. Those are actual Google provided questions. And that's the order. This is the most important. These are the second most important. These two here, this one and this one. And this is the least important, although it still does correlate with rankings as well. If you have all the scores in the green, it correlates with rankings. How you get the scores in the green depends on entirely which ones you need to get in the green and where they are. This is too low, right? This is only 800 words of the average 2,000. So obviously I need to add more entities. I need to add more text, and therefore we will have a higher semantic score. We'll have more keyword density, if you will, which again is a totally wrong way of thinking about it, but I think it gets the point across. How do I do that? Very easily. Highlight a top paragraph. You go from top down to beef this up. Highlight a top paragraph, hit the up score button. This is going to start jamming more keywords in there. I'm going to do it again because I didn't like the result. Okay, this is a bit better. Now it has stars. Now I'm going to go here, rewrite this in, I can't remember what it's called. Ultra text or whatever it's called, ultra text. So I can copy and paste it with formatting. Boom, boom, boom. Ultra text, I can't remember what it's called. Ultra text, something like that. So CP will go fine. It'll rewrite it. Usually it doesn't do that, but boom. So boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah. So here's the paragraph. Boom, boom. That's weird. I don't think it took all of this. That's strange. Only when I'm doing demos, this happens. Okay, there we go. Boom, boom, replace it. Now I grab this one. If you have to click it a couple times, it's better than writing it. Boom. It's better than having to break out Word and write it yourself as an SEO, because we know nothing about this. So highlight a sentence and upscore it. Eventually, you see it's adding text every single time. There we go. Boom. Now it's adding text. Keep doing it till it does. You see that goes up. And now I'm going to go here. Go down to here. This would be a good candidate just to point and click. Close. Do it again. Close. Do it again. Close. Not giving me a good one. Replace. There we go. Do this one. Replace. Do this one. Replace, etc. So we keep going until suddenly we add more content and we're in the green. But I'm going to add even more content. I'm going to go here. Joseph says, looks like a lot of tokens being used. How fast would you run out at that pace? Not very fast. You have enough tokens. And if people complain, they're like, I don't have enough tokens, Josh, to do the SEO you said I should do it, then I'll give you more tokens. People, don't worry about the tokens. Tokens are a thing that my ex-business partner did that I wish he never had. I mean, we need to have some limit of what you can do in the system. But no, you're not eating that much tokens. You could also just generate the article again. You could copy and paste this whole thing into here and say, please extend this article and add more content to each section. You could have done it that way too. I find just the buttons the easiest way to do it, quite frankly. But what I want to do is I want to go way higher. I want to go way higher and increase the content for these areas so that, and I could bring it back down. So I'm going to go and I'm really going to start stuffing keywords in there. You see how many times it mentions El Dorado Hills? Stuffing the keywords in there like mad. Mad keyword stuffing. It's the exact same way that you get the Marvel body. You put on all this weight, you eat 6,000 calories a day, you put on all this weight and fat and muscle, and then you trim it after. It's the same deal. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Don't want it down, I want to upscore this. Place, and again, in a few months, it's going to do a lot of this for you automatically. Okay, now we're a little bit higher. I'm going to upscore this. Place. Upscore this. Replace. Upscore this. Replace. And upscore this. So it's not that difficult. Save this. Run this. Now I see I'm way over. Now I'm going to run all the scores. You're going to notice a lot of them are going to be in the red because I stuffed tons of keywords in there and I used AI content to do it. So now we've got a high spam score. Now this went higher. That's why it's called the up scores button. It makes all the scores get higher. The heat score didn't go up. That's fine. Now it's all these system metrics that are being fed to CP to instruct. CP also tells you how to do this, right? It gives you all the suggestions for improvement, tells you how to do all this kind of stuff. You can also tell it, okay, please do that on this text. Do that here, blah, 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 blah. Or you can just click the buttons. So now we have 2,000 words, too much. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna now down score from the bottom up. Why from the top down first? Because Google, little do you know, Google doesn't actually read the whole page. They read the top part of the page for different kind of AIs and different kind of algorithms. And so it's called the top 100 in SEO. It's been a thing for quite some time. It's been a rumor for some time, and it leaked from a conference, and actually it's something, one of the true things that Google said. Keywords at the top of the page count more. Keywords at the bottom of the page count less. So you start adding keywords at the top, start removing them at the bottom. Clifford says 2094 versus 1965, too much. The word count doesn't matter. The word count, that's another myth. The word count doesn't matter at all. All that matters are these scores. These scores are all that matters. Again, word score, word count was just a thing that we used in SEO because we didn't know any better and we didn't know what we were doing. Clifford says, I thought you just said the word count was too much. Yes, sorry, to be confusing Clifford. Yes, I did say the word count was too much. That's why this score is so high, but that is just an indirect relationship. SEO is not directly affected by word count. SEO is directly affected by semantic score, if that makes more sense. However, by reducing the words, we are going to bring both the words count down, which I couldn't give a shit about. What I actually care about is bringing the semantic score into the green, is what I care about, if that makes sense. He says, thank you. Awesome. So let me downscore this. And you see, oh, now it's bringing it back down. Downscore this. Now it's bringing it back down. We were all puffed up. We got chonked. We went on the muscle diet. We got too chonky. Now we're cutting weight. Now we're bringing it down. I go back up to here where I did that. Now it's taking the keyword stuffing out of a lot of what we did, bringing it down. See, I've done, save it. Now let me click this again. See, it went down. Now I go here. Body spam score is going down. You see, now it's down to 30%. Now everything's going down. That's why it's called the down score button. Bring it down. Bringing it all down. Boom. Okay, now we save it again. Rerun this. Rerun this. Rerun this. Rerun the spam score a couple times. I know we're stuffing in El Dorado Hills too much, right? It says 10%. And you got to read what it says. It says the content provides a helpful overview of bathroom remodeling, specifically in El Dorado Hills. However, the phrase bathroom remodeling in El Dorado Hills is not present in the text. That's a good thing, which is a positive aspect. The content does mention bathroom remodeling and El Dorado Hills separately, but they are used in a natural context that aligns with the topic. The writing is informative and addresses potential user queries effectively. To improve, the author could ensure that the content remains focused on providing value without overemphasizing specific phrases. And I'm still saying a little too much, even though 10% is a perfectly fine score. Overall, a quality rater would likely pass this page for ranking as it meets the query intent without excessive keyword stuffing. But it didn't say #1 ranking, so I wasn't so cool about that. Andrew says, SEO muscle taxi. Absolutely love the direct correlation to the exact algorithm. So much fluff and so many different tools. Yes, I agree. Yeah. This is fine. I'm only 1 over this. I'm green in the rest. This is fine. I could save this now and run with it. That would be perfectly fine. Now let me check everything else about it. Let me go here to the SEO tab. Let me check the URL. Spam score 0. Good. Let me check the title tag here. Spam score 0, bathroom remodeling, El Dorado Hills, California, proper grammar, home bathroom construction and remodeling services. Good, perfect. I'm not repeating stuff. I got remodel, services, kitchen, construction. These are the main important entities according to all of the AIs that are in the reports. You notice it's different boosting keywords for the meta description. Did you know that they have a different AI that does different keywords for the meta description? Bet you didn't. No other group does. And here's the H1, expert guide to bathroom remodeling in El Dorado Hills. Here's one that's going to complain. Andrew says, nope, had no idea. Nope, no one else does. Only my group does, because we're pretty much the only one who scientifically tests. If there were other ones out there that did a good job, I would admit it. There just isn't. Okay, we're missing spread keywords. We haven't said construction. It's a pretty important entity. If it shows up here, it's pretty important. To show the breadth and depth that we have the experience, the expertise, we're talking about this in an authoritative way, the way experienced people do, and therefore we deserve the trust. That's what EAT means and how it works, by the way. It has nothing to do with your fucking backlinks and bullshit like that. We need to be mentioning all the topics that a true expert would mention. And we didn't mention this entity, construction. Google doesn't know this from a hole in the wall, by the way. They just have mathematically learned what the experts talk about. Construction. There we go. Now I have it. So now it's done. Embarking on a bathroom construction renovation can be an exhilarating and challenging endeavor. Yay. Okay. However, it did not like the H1. I am too stuffy in the H1. It says the H1 doesn't repeat the EMQ exactly, which is a positive aspect. My AI tells you how to do SEO right here. However, it uses the phrase bathroom remodeling, which is a close variation of bath remodeling. While it is specific to the location, it lacks a direct focus on the specific audience likely searching for this service. The phrase expert guide does suggest a resourceful intent, which can attract readers. Overall, it serves the query intent fairly by indicating the content that will cover the bathroom remodeling in that specific location. It's 50%. And if you want to see your competition, well, the competition is 70% spammy. So a 50% spammy is probably not bad, but this is too close. And I know I'm saying El Dorado a lot. El Dorado. Every time I say that word, I hear Elvis singing it in my head. I don't know. Didn't he have a song? Wasn't that Elvis? That was Elvis, wasn't it? El Dorado. Beep, 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 beep. We're saying it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. It's stuffed in there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, fuck. It's in here a lot. Even though my AI is cool with it, it's probably fine. But you know what? I probably don't want to have it in there so many times. Definitely not in the H1 if we're going to have it so many times in the body. It's like, yeah, we get it. I mean, read this paragraph. It still gave me a 10% spam score. It's still not perfect, right? Personalization. I said to remake these bold. El Dorado. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. A remodel allows you to express style and create a space that meets your specific needs. While renovating your home, it's essential to have the opportunity to infuse your unique Dorado into every aspect of the project. Whether it's a bathroom, bath, or kitchen removal, our team in El Dorado Hills, CA understands the importance of tailoring with their quality remodeling services from start to finish. By choosing us, your remodeling contractor in El Dorado Hills. Yeah, I mean, this is how local content reads. Oh, this is how it reads. If you want more guidance on this, save it and go here to the reports. And actually, okay, Dorado is 8. Yeah, L is really high in rank brain. So they are really high. So I could get away with it probably. I'll probably leave it. Anyway, the scores are in the green except for the H1. And this one is just 1 over. You can leave it there as 1 over. Let's take this. Let's go to the generate article again. And let's say, let's see. Or you can also go to the title. Say home, bathroom, and construction remodeling services. Let's go to the generate article and say bathroom remodeling services in El Dorado, cost and options. Factors influencing bathroom and remodel costs and expert recommendations. Let's just do this. Let's go to CP here. Give me 5 variations on this H1. Let's it's clearly a how-to. Boom. Let's see. We got bath remodeling services. So which ones were the words here? Bathroom, home, construction, remodel services. Bath remodeling, services, costs, and options. Yeah, your complete guide. We could use that one too. Any of these would probably be fine. Choosing the right bathroom remodeling services. I could probably try this one. Put that in here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Take away the bold. Boom. And rerun it. Still doesn't like it. It doesn't specifically mention El Dorado Hills, CA. Yeah, it's probably going to be pissed off if it doesn't have El Dorado, CA. So what I would need to do for this particular one is I need to either remove El Dorado Hills, CA, mentioned so many times in the text, and have it once in the H1, or not have it in the H1. If I just added El Dorado Hills, CA, if I added that and it stopped complaining, then I know, okay, that's the issue. It's not about keyword stuffing. It's about not being precise enough. For the H1, it doesn't want it to be too specific or too inspecific. Yeah, it's fine with that. You see, now it's like, oh, it's okay. So boom, get rid of that. Choosing the right bathroom, remodeling services, a comprehensive look at costs and options. There you go. This isn't the title. It's in the it's in the URL. It's mentioned a bunch of times in the text. This is what you need. They know it's for El Dorado. So that's it. This is only one over. These are all in the green. Now I can run with it. I can copy and paste this right into WordPress, or I can go to the HTML and copy and paste it. Boom, done. All right. So I've been talking for 2 hours. I mean, that following all that is how you win at SEO. Build. It took me 20 minutes. I know you're like 5 pages a day. Isn't that going to take me 10 hours? No, it took me 20 minutes per page. Clifford says, sounds hard. No, thanks. Yeah, I know. 10 hours a day. No, thank you. Or you're being sarcastic. 20 minutes. Yeah, that's too long. No, I mean, we've brought 20 hours of work down to 20 minutes. I'm going to bring it down to 2 minutes in the next couple of months. Get in on the grandfather pricing and you'll be set. So if you're like, Josh, what's the grandfather pricing? The grandfather pricing is, make sure you guys ask questions here. It's this one, the 144. When you guys sign up for this, I will never remove the credits. This will always have credits, the same amount of credits or more. This will always have a good amount of credits for everything in the system. I'm also building a page audit system that these ones probably won't have access to. They might in beta, but then I'll remove it, and it's only going to be for the professional accounts, which is fine. People probably at this level of economy probably don't want to be eating up credits for page audits. Joseph says, we can use this on multiple sites. Of course, you can build as many pages for as many sites as you want, right? All these are going to be on different sites, right? But the more sites you're building, you realize if you're doing SEO for 3 sites, they all have to build content aggressively, or you're not going to have a chance of succeeding. Or to say the same thing another way, you want to maximize your chances of succeeding. To do that, you have to build content aggressively. But with the AI, it's not difficult to do at all. So let me give, so as I promised, let me give you guys the free promise, the free gift that I promised. Here is a giant juicy coupon code. I'm pasting it here in the chat. I'll even get you the page to go to. Go to pricing here. And here's the giant juicy coupon code for folks in the Zoom. Otherwise, guys, ask your questions. What questions you guys got? It'll give you 30% off any of these plans on SEO Copilot. These plans here. Again, guys, if you sign up for this one, this is the one I recommend for the highest level of success. And this is the grandfather price that for all the new features we'll be putting in the future, you're guaranteed to have some access to it. This is only the start, guys. With AI building the content, we can have it automatically determine what niches you should be in or what keywords you should be building for, and automatically add content to your site. All on AutoMagic. And check the rankings too and see how well it's ranking. And if it's not ranking well, make adjustments. That is the future of AI and the future of SEO Copilot, being a true autonomous SEO AGI. And that's what we're building towards next year. It's going to be awesome. Andrew says, incredible Webby. I was looking more deeply recently on exerting more effort into co-citations. Should I even bother? What do you mean by co-citations? Again, in SEO University, we have our kind of own language. We tend not to use the language of the general SEO. So let me know what you mean by co-citations. I mean, I know what a citation is. NAP, name, address, and phone number citation. Definitely important for local. Definitely join the university and we'll show you how to do it right. But I'm not entirely sure what co-citations are. It might be something easy and my brain is just frazzled because I've been doing this for 2 hours. Also, guys on YouTube, if you have any questions, please, by all means, let me know. Any questions in the YouTube, let me know. Otherwise, I've given these guys a couple more minutes to get that coupon going, and then I will share it on the YouTubes. Any more questions, guys? Andrew says, like linking to sites that the competitor does to strengthen those values with the ranking algos. Okay, so that's also called tiered linking. Yeah, we talk about that. So definitely email me at joshbrzezinski@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you guys out with that. In fact, I could even, like a professional, make that my handle here. Clifford said, how is this subscription different from AppSumo? I have no problem answering. AppSumo only gives you access to keyword discovery. It doesn't give you access to anything else. And it is on an introductory level of credits, a hobbyist level of credits. So by all means, you can get the keyword discovery in AppSumo, but it's not really going to help you. Really signing up for the monthly package is how you're going to be successful in SEO. Awesome, guys. Any questions on the YouTube, guys? Let me just refresh it. Sometimes it doesn't give me the questions. All right, guys. Joseph says, should I refund my AppSumo purchase? Sure, if you want. If you like. It will add those prices. It will add those credits onto the monthly, I believe. I believe it all adds it together. Or takes the higher version. I'm not really sure. But being on the monthly definitely is a better thing to be on. Joseph asks, will the higher prices be grandfathered as well if we use the coupon and go with one of them? Sure, yes. Yes, 144 and above are the grandfathered pricing, meaning that the pricing won't get any higher and the credits won't get any lower. And 144 and above, you'll have access to everything that the system does. Under 144 is an introductory kind of hobbyist price, which by all means, if you want to sign on for that, there's nothing wrong with it. Go ahead and sign up for it. And I know plenty of people who have started at that and moved up. I know plenty of people in local as well who are like, Josh, I really only need to build 5 pages. And I don't care if in 2 years down the road, my competitor beats me by making a site with 100 pages. And my answer is, well, that's kind of short-sighted. Don't you want to be making money 2 years from now? And they're like, Josh, I'm so running with like a chicken with my head cut off, with my hair on fire that this is all I can afford right now. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, okay, great. No problem. God bless you. More power to you. I wish you all the success. But understand, in most niches that make money, most of your competitors have a solid content velocity because people know this. People know about site weights. People know about content. And content marketing is SEO 101. So most of your competitors are going to know this and already be adding pages as fast as they can and as cheaply as they can. You need to do it faster, cheaper, and better than them. And all your competitors in every niche, global and local, are eventually going to figure this out. And anyone who's in a competitive local niche knows this already. Lawyers, locksmiths, dentists, real estate agents, that kind of thing, they already know, oh yeah, you need to add content because my competitors are doing that already with this SEO team or that SEO team. It costs me $1,500 a month or $3,000 a month. Well, you can make way more content for way cheaper. That's way better for way less. All right, if there's no more questions on the tube views, I will give the 30% discount there. Again, guys, I highly recommend, if there's any of those coupons left, if they haven't all been used, I highly recommend you get it there. I also noticed that there's make sure when you copy and paste it, you don't copy the trailing space. And good luck, guys. So I'm going to be running another one of these courses next week and probably the week after, and then I'm taking 2 weeks off for Christmas. And keep watching, guys, because SEO Miss is coming up. What is that I hear on the roof? I hear the jingling of the SEO goblin, and SEO Miss is coming up. And that I was going to have crazy discounts, crazy gifts, crazy coupons, maybe even some free stuff. So keep watching over the holiday season for when I go live. Make sure you like and subscribe so you're told when I go live. You do not want to miss that SEO Miss special event. Ask anyone who's been watching me for a long time. SEO Miss is a big deal. It's a big effing deal. It's when I give back and try to be really generous and give a lot of stuff. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna leave it there. Again, email me with any questions you might have. Joseph says, so we should wait to purchase till then? You can if you want. You might not. It'll be a first come, first served basis, Joseph. So you might not. The 30% discount's pretty good. I would grab that now. But if you want to wait and risk it and see if you're there to be the first one to get something better, by all means. But once all those coupons are used up, I'm going to adjust the pricing to be, okay, this is what people want to pay apparently. And then I won't be using coupons as an incentive, probably. Clifford says, I love that you answer questions directly. I try to be as direct as possible. Joseph says, me too. I'm glad you guys like it. Sometimes people find my directness too abrupt. So I'm happy that it is sinking, that we're on the same wavelength. All right, guys, thanks very much for listening and watching. I got to go eat some lunch. But again, email me any SEO questions, even if you don't want to sign up. Even if you don't want to sign up, ask me an SEO question. I'm happy to give you a quick 5-minute answer if it's not that big of a deal. And again, I have this new offer for SEO University as a tiered access. The intro access is very cheap. It's a no-brainer to sign up for. It's a no-brainer to sign up for it because it's so cheap and gives you such a wealth of information. If you thought even one thing I said today was good, well, I've got 1,000 more of those for you waiting in SEO University. It is the best mentorship group for SEO that's been running for 10 years, hands down. You just haven't heard of it because I like it that way. I don't want my competitors getting in here and learning what I know. I've got the best group. We've got really good secrets, but I'm trying to keep them secret. It's really hard to do. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for listening and watching. Good luck in your SEO. You can succeed and you will succeed when you're using SEO Copilot and SEO University. It's a bright time for SEO, and send me your wins.